Hello everyone, my name is Ziamaro and welcome to Battlerite Sage. Today I wanted to talk about tier lists.
This game cannot have tier lists. This game is comp dependent.
This was a verse speaking about tier lists a few days ago, and you know what? He's right. The game is comp dependent. Just in case you're wondering what comp means, it's short for composition, i.e. the combination of champions on your team. Honestly, there isn't a single champion in this game that doesn't have a viable comp. Every champion is viable with one comp or another. But does that really mean there are no tiers? Well, it kind of depends how you want to look at tiers. If you define it by pick rates, then some champions have more viable comps than others, so you'll see them more often. You could argue that that does make them a higher tier in some contexts. Let's take Lucy for example. Her kit is really versatile, and she brings something to the table that no other champion can, which is the cleansing potion. She can remove debuffs from allies and buffs from enemies, and because of that and everything else that she brings, she fits into loads of comps. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can't shoehorn her into any team and make it work, but she'll work with almost anything. Then you have something like Sirius. He's a great champion, but he thrives when you have an aggressive melee to play with. If you have Destiny and Jade on your team, you're not going to get the value out of them that you might have if you had a Freya or a Shifu with you. That's definitely not to say that he's not viable, because he definitely is. In fact, I've even seen a team run Sirius, Jade and Destiny. They would petrify someone, and then the Jade and Destiny would charge up their right clicks, and the Sirius jumps in and does his combo. The first round that we came up against it was pretty terrifying burst that they did, but once I figured out what they were doing, I was playing Paloma, and I would just other side my teammates every time they got petrified and were about to get sniped. It was a fun comp and it was like quite an interesting way to play, but it was easy to outplay it. I kind of feel like I'm picking on Sirius here. Like he's viable. Like chuck him in with a good melee and his burst is like absolutely frightening. And when it comes down to it, he's a really good duelist. But the point is, if you're playing solo queue, then you're going to have a higher chance of getting a viable comp playing Lucy than you would playing Sirius. So at least in my eyes, this puts Lucy in a higher tier for solo queue than Sirius. Does that mean you can't climb to the top with Sirius? Well, no, because there are 4 Sirius mains in the top 100, so people do make it work. But then at the same time, there are 10 Lucy mains and 11 Paloma mains, so that kind of makes my point. Maybe it's because great players are drawn towards Lucy and Paloma, but I think it's also likely that they're just easier to slot into any comp. Don't let this put you off any character though. If you enjoy the game, then you should really be doing 2v2 and 3v3. As far as I'm concerned, solo queue is literally just there to practice while your teammates aren't online. So just try out all the champions, and if you really click with something, like if you get on well with Esmo, Raigon, Pestilus or whatever else, just play them. Play some solo queue if you like, and see what kind of champions you like to be paired up with, and then make a 2v2 or 3v3 team with those champions. Totalbiscuit did a video about Battlerite just the other day, and I think he really hit the nail on the head when he said Battlerite's a lot like WoW Arena. I remember when I first played Bloodline Champions, whenever the beta was, 2010, 2011, I can't remember. I just quit WoW myself, and I remember thinking just how much it felt like a finely tuned WoW Arena. The mechanics are very different, but how the team fights play out feels a lot like Arena. And just like in WoW, what's viable and what's not viable are the comps. There'll always be top tier comps and there will always be low tier comps. But to be perfectly honest, no one is really in a position to say what tiers are yet in Battlerite. The game hasn't been around for long enough. Like a lot of the people in the top 500 and stuff, I recognize the names from BLC. Like a lot of them are the old school players, and I can guarantee there's a lot of people who are sitting in Platinum and Diamond right now who are gonna be at the top at some point. And who knows what comps are gonna work when these people come up and there's a lot more competition for the older players. It kind of feels like the Wild West right now and like anything goes. But I think that's really exciting. The meta hasn't fully developed yet. Like we have an idea of what might work, but we don't know. There could be some secret gem of a comp that we just haven't discovered yet. Like personally, I've been playing Pearl and Destiny in 2v2, and the walls and the bubbles and the silent spam, it just feels crazy. I'm not even the best Pearl, but it feels like a really strong comp, and there's gonna be more stuff like that out there. Let me know in the comments or whatever what you guys are playing right now. Like I'm really interested to see how this meta turns out. I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then feel free to subscribe because I'll be doing more videos like this, as well as tutorials and guides. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.